Before I came here, I'd always wanted to kind of live in a village environment. And for me, it's a lot easier to live here than to find a village in England, because the village has just changed so much in the UK. But Bukovlia was how England was about 50 years ago. Whereas here you can still find people who can tell you the stories, the traditions, as if they're still living them, and not as if they are historical events. We found the house about 12 years ago, but it wasn't until about 8 years ago that I started filming. And this was purely by chance when we did some renovation on the house, and I wanted to record it. So I bought a little cheap video camera and recorded the restoration work we were doing. And I realized then how quickly the village was changing. So I started recording with a dictaphone or with a video camera these stories. Ja się zovem Andrew Norris, rođen sam u Londonu i došao sam u Hrvatsku prvi put 92. godine na početku rata. Jednog dana nešto čudo se desilo. Vidio sam u Londonu, u Covent Gardenu, jednu izložbu u Photographer's Gallery. I tada sam vidio slike kulturne spomenike iz Hrvatske koji su bili uništene zbog rata. I tada nikad nisam čuo za Hrvatsku. Slabo sam pratio vijesti. Ali kad sam ih vidio, te slike, bio sam u šoku. Onda sam odmah odlučio da moram ići u zemlju Hrvatsku koju nikad nisam čuo prije. Već sam ovdje 15 godine. Moram priznat da malo mi je sram, da meni je baš teško pričati i objasnim ono što radim na hrvatskom. I took photographs and did drawings, as discreetly as I could. And I was here for 10 days, and the experience for me was quite overwhelming. I went back to London, and I spent 9 months working up a series of paintings, and then I organised my own exhibition in an empty shop, which was a bit of a shock for that high street because it was a very fashionable part of London. But once this exhibition finished, I felt a kind of anticlimax. I wanted to carry on my interest with this country because it really gotten under my skin. I'd already started teaching myself the language, and London University has a particularly famous school of Slavonic studies. So I turned up there one day and I enrolled, and then the day after my final exam, I came back to Zagreb, and I was thinking, shall I make a life here? Shall I go back to London? And then one day I was walking on the street and I saw a little dog hiding between 2 rows of shopping trolleys. I came back every day for 3 more days until I could entice this dog to come out from between the trolleys. And it came out on the 3rd day, and I just picked it up, carried it home, and that was the decision that I would stay, and no regrets. In the sequence of events, I found the dog first. A couple of years after that, through mutual friends, we were at Lesinski at the animation festival. And I think Jasta just happened to be there with friends. And we just got talking and discovered that we had a few things in common, and we liked each other. So my life really began when we met.
Oženili smo se 2005. A kuću tu na Mrežnici imamo isto 2005. I od onda smo stalno u selu, volimo prirodu, to imamo stvarno zajedničko. Jedan i drugi uživamo u prirodi i volimo pse, kao što se vidi. Pa lijepo je živjeti sa umjetnikom jer, ok, ja imam svoj posao, to je malo drugačije, ali volim pratiti šta on radi i uvijek volim gledati njegove filmove i dok ih radi, sudjelujem tako dok ih on montira i stvara.
Imala si jednoga vola, Jelen se nazvali, imali robe koji Jelen i bol je taj vol. Koji god putu mi zavi taj krše. Dva vola i...
Here, stories are living, breathing entities. Because of the oral tradition, everybody owns a story. And so you would hear the story, the same story, from multiple points of view. When I was with Mika, who was the last harmonica player left at our end of the village, I said to him that I imagined that everybody in the village had 100 stories. And he said, no, the village does not have 100 stories. It has one story, and that is the village. And that's when I realized that I had to hear the same story from different people. So 8 years ago, I started making these interviews to record the traditions, many of which you can no longer see. I taught myself how to edit footage. I taught myself how to compose accompanying music. So over the past 8 years, I've made 70 documentaries. I've recorded about 20 unaccompanied songs, which people used to sing when they took the cattle to pasture. It has a particular sound to it. When I was trying to get my Stanley Borovak, the law kept changing. One person in MOOP who I didn't get on with gave me some wrong advice, and which meant that update my immigration card in time, so I had to go right back to the beginning again, start from day one, which meant taking a train to Slovenia to get a stamp in my passport. And then I had to start the process all over again. When I got married, that kind of helped a little bit, but then the law changed again. So it took me about 8 years before I got a Stanley Borovak.
Hey, Americana! Hey,
Andriju, jesi bio u vrtu, jesi sve napravio?
Još nisam sve posadio, imam još krastavac.
Još krastavac. Ja sam posadila i krastavce i onaj luk šta si mi dao. I posadila, imam salate, 3 vrste sam posadila, da.
Ja baš sam ponosan.
Ponosan, ne? Već salatu jedemo našu, to sam ja posadila.
Super, salata super.
Da. Meni je jako drago da je Andrijum tu i on je jako čovjek dobar i puno je napravio za to Gornje Bukovlje. Ko je znao za Gornje Bukovlje? A sada znaju i u svijetu, čak i u Americi. On je to organizirao da dolazi ti iz Amerike koji su imali svoje korijene ove tu. Eto, u 9. mjesecu je velika fešta tamo ispred doma. Gdje oni se sastaneju, gdje je muzika, gdje se i počasti, jako lijepo sve se organizira.
Why Bukovlja? When I try and articulate a reason why, I'm always reminded of something that an English writer, Thomas Hardy, said. I believe it is better to know a little of the world very well than a lot of the world very little. And that's always been my philosophy. Because I always believe that the culture of a country whatever country, England, Croatia, the culture originates from the village, from the people, from the very soil that people are working.
Oj Vukovlje naše, ti si naša dika, lepše si nam negdje Amerika, haj, haj.
The more I've lived here now, the more I've come to appreciate this country, the more I've begun to feel that I'm part of this country. Although I do like being a foreigner here, I do like that, because it gives me certain privileges. I mean, in terms of the work that I've been doing in the village. And I like that. I like being a little bit different, a bit outside.
Ali još jedna što kod njega sad moram ga malo pošpotati. Sve razumije, ali ako mu nešto ne ide onako u tek, onda molim kao da nije razumije. Jel prijatelju?
Da, točno. Kako me znaš?
A već te svoj prazni.